Good day, folks. So it's the last day of November, and we've had, I think, 3 or 4 days in a row that it was below freezing and some frost and what have you. And so it was time to do an update. This is the turmeric that I was leaving out to experiment with and see just how it does fare over winter. And really, it's not, I put it here, these gas tanks hold some heat and everything, so it's, right now it's not bit bad, but the hibiscus are bit, and like I said, I knew they would. It usually kills them during the winter. This particular variety, it's one of the tea varieties that I have. This was the little ginger that I'd left out, and right now it's still green. And so, like I said, this is just going to be an experiment, and we're going to let it go and see what if it comes back in the spring and how it does. And right now, even the old mother of millions, what we call an alligator plant, and it's in the family with aloe. And right now, I've had aloes that lived outside for years and years, but I've ended up, I think, last year before last, ended those. And I'm just seeing a little feller up here on the hose, and I don't know if I can get a picture of him or not, but anyway, he's sunbathing. Like I say, I just can't tell with the sun reflection whether you're able to see the little lizard or not. With my goji berries, which I've pretty near quit with myself, and I told a friend, Hillary, that I would get them to her, and with the rains and everything else, they've come back out. There's just a lot of weeds and all that, and I hope I can still save the roots. They can get down into zone like 5, I think it was, or something. Somebody told me they had them up in Canada. I don't know, but one day I hope to get those up to her. Those are the leaves that I collected a while ago. I'm fixing to water, and usually whenever I start dragging the water hose and watering and all that, I'll knock the leaves off, and it's just easier to gather my kratom before I water, before I spray. My purple shamrock down there is doing very well. And I had some more of my betel leaf this morning, and the dried leaves, and I love the flavor of these green leaves. They're more peppy, and they taste good to me. Everybody's taste is a little different, and anyway, they're doing well. And I'm starting to get a few flowers open, and I can't remember, it seems like it starts with a K. It's in a succulent family. Still doing well with my new growth on the kratums. And they're not dried out, but it's just, I do like the water. I like to keep the humidity well up in here, and they seem to do better. And the heaters had done well, and I had got them cut back to where they weren't getting cooked by the heaters. I had to squash the little spider that just wouldn't vacate the orifice on the heater, and every time I turned it off, he was building the web back, and then I had to take the heater apart and re-clean it every time to get the web out so the pilot lights stay lit. And I kept trying to encourage him to go, and he wouldn't. And so anyway, today, as soon as I finish watering, I've already got my spray bottle up there with my alcohol and peppermint oil and all that mixed up that I'll spray, and hopefully I won't have any more building webs in it until I need it next, which is towards the end of next week is the next time we're supposed to be down in the 30s, which I used to not turn the heat on until it was a hard freeze, like 25 or so. But I have so many of the kratom and everything else now that it behooves me to go ahead and turn it on and try to keep it up. This green melange here, last year every leaf had ended up shedding off of it during winter, and a lot of those that I picked a while ago were off of this one, and they would just pop off at a touch. And so right now I shook it a while ago and everything was pretty stationary, but got a few mulberries still, and need to pick some of the hibiscus and make me a pot of hibiscus tea. I haven't done that. I've still got plenty of dry one, but I haven't done any of the fresh this whole year. I had used some of the moringa up there with some of the green papayas I took off the other day before the frost and freeze got them. I've got to dig me out another part of the turmeric over here. Once I move it in the greenhouse, I keep it moist but not wet. And the first year I had it, I had some pots I was keeping too wet, and I ended up with root rot. And so I kind of start letting it dry out once I move it in the greenhouse. And so most of this looks deader than the one that's out by the gas tanks. The galanga is still growing real nice, and the ginger is still, some of it is green and some of it has died back. That's the flower on the galanga, and I guess I've missed seeing it bloom. There was some other blooms on it somewhere, but I don't see them offhand. And my chrysanthemum is still brightening up my day from time to time. I don't know what happened to my big pencil cactus here, which if you look at the old videos, the one that was too big to get in the greenhouse I gave away, and this one I saved though. But something has happened to some of the stalk on it, has died. But I'll root some more and save it anyway, and that's a lot of things I enjoy and just don't have room for everything the way I used to. But that's what's going on for me today. I'll get on with my watering. Everyone have a blessed day and take care.